I want to ask you something today. What have you been saying about yourself? When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that comes out of your mouth? Some people say, I'm so tired. Others say, nothing good ever happens to me. But I want to challenge you today, start speaking blessings over your life, because the words you speak are seeds, and those seeds will grow into the reality you experience. If you keep saying, I'll never be successful, don't be surprised when doors remain closed. If you say, I don't think I'll ever be happy, your life will reflect that. But here's the good news. You have the power to change it. Instead of saying, I'm struggling, say, I'm getting stronger. Instead of saying, I'm stuck, say, I'm on the path to something great. Because when you change your words, you change your mindset. And when you change your mindset, you change your life. This isn't just about positive thinking, it's about faith. When you declare blessings over yourself, you are setting the atmosphere for God, the universe, and every opportunity to align in your favor. So today, I want you to make a decision. Decide that from this moment forward, you will speak blessings over your health, over your finances, over your dreams. Even if you don't see it yet, speak it anyway. Say, I am blessed, I am favored, I am strong, I am capable, I am walking into a new season of abundance and joy, because when you believe it, when you declare it with confidence, everything around you starts shifting. So go ahead, speak blessings upon yourself, change your words, and you will change your life. Words are not just sounds or letters strung together. They are powerful forces that shape our thoughts, influence our emotions, and ultimately determine the course of our lives. The power of words is often underestimated, but history, science, and personal experiences all demonstrate that what we say has a direct impact on our reality. When we speak, we are not merely expressing ideas, we are programming our minds, reinforcing beliefs, and setting expectations for the future. From the earliest moments of our lives, words shape our understanding of the world. A child who hears encouragement and affirmations will grow up with confidence, while a child who hears criticism and negativity may struggle with self-doubt. This is because words are not just passive expressions. They carry energy that influences the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is spoken as a joke and what is spoken seriously. It absorbs everything as truth. When we repeatedly say something, whether positive or negative, we reinforce neural pathways in the brain that make those thoughts more automatic. Over time, these thoughts turn into beliefs, and beliefs shape actions. Consider the stories of people who have transformed their lives simply by changing their words. Many successful individuals attribute their achievements to positive affirmations and declarations. They did not wait for circumstances to change before they spoke words of victory. They spoke those words first, and circumstances followed. This is because words have the power to direct energy and focus. When a person constantly speaks about failure, lack, and struggle, they unconsciously create a mindset that attracts more of those experiences. On the other hand, when a person speaks about success, abundance, and strength, they align their thoughts and actions with those possibilities. Scientific studies have also proven the power of words. Research in neuroscience has shown that words can physically change the structure of the brain. When people engage in positive self-talk, their brains release chemicals like dopamine and serotonin, which enhance mood and motivation. Conversely, negative words can trigger the release of stress hormones like cortisol, which can lead to anxiety, depression, and even physical illness. Words not only shape our mental state, but also have a profound effect on our physical health. The work of Dr. Masaru Emoto, a Japanese researcher, provides a striking example of how words can affect the physical world. He conducted experiments on water molecules, exposing them to different words, sounds, and intentions. When the water was exposed to positive words like love and gratitude, the molecular structure formed beautiful, symmetrical crystals. However, when exposed to negative words like hate and fear, the molecules formed distorted, chaotic patterns. Since the human body is made up of about 70% water, this experiment suggests that the words we speak to ourselves and others have a direct impact on our well-being. Beyond science, the power of words is evident in history and culture. Great leaders throughout time have used words to inspire nations, ignite revolutions, and bring about social change. Martin Luther King Jr. did not pick up a weapon. He used words to paint a vision of a better future. His words awakened the spirit of hope and possibility in millions of people. Similarly, leaders like Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, and Winston Churchill shaped history with their speeches. Their words had the power to mobilize people, change minds, and transform societies. This demonstrates that words are not just personal, they have the power to influence collective consciousness. In everyday life, we see the power of words in our relationships. The way we speak to others can either build them up or tear them down. A simple compliment can brighten someone's day, while a harsh criticism can linger in their mind for years. Many people still carry the wounds of words spoken to them in childhood. They may have been told they were not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable enough, and those words became a part of their internal dialogue. On the other hand, words of encouragement can heal, restore, and empower. A person who has been told they are strong, talented, and valuable will walk through life with a sense of confidence and purpose. This is why it is so important to be mindful of the words we speak, not only to others, but also to ourselves. The conversations we have in our own minds are some of the most powerful conversations we will ever have. If we constantly tell ourselves that we are not good enough, that we will never succeed, or that we are unworthy of happiness, those words will manifest as reality. But if we begin to speak words of affirmation, reminding ourselves that we are capable, deserving, and resilient, we will start to see those truths reflected in our lives. Some people dismiss affirmations and positive declarations as wishful thinking, but they fail to understand that words are tools that shape our mindset. A person who repeatedly tells themselves, "I can do this," will take action, push through obstacles, and ultimately succeed. A person who says, "I will never make it," will hesitate, give up easily, and remain stuck. Words are like seeds. Whatever you plant will grow. If you plant seeds of doubt, you will harvest failure. If you plant seeds of faith, you will harvest success. Religious and spiritual traditions have long recognized the power of words. In many belief systems, the spoken word is seen as a force that can create or destroy. The Bible, for example, states that life and death are in the power of the tongue. Ancient texts emphasize that words have the ability to bring blessings or curses upon a person's life. This is why prayers, mantras, and affirmations have been used for centuries as a way to shape reality. When people declare their desires with faith and conviction, they tap into a deeper power that brings those desires into existence. Even in modern society, we see the power of words in branding and marketing. Companies spend billions crafting slogans and advertisements because they know that words can influence consumer behavior. A simple phrase can make people associate a product with happiness, success, or trust. The same principle applies to personal development. When you carefully choose the words you speak about yourself, you are shaping how you see yourself and how others see you. The power of words is also evident in storytelling. Books, movies, and speeches have the ability to move people emotionally, change perspectives, and inspire action. A single story told in the right way can make someone see the world differently. This is why words are used in therapy, counseling, and motivational speaking. When someone is struggling, the right words can help them heal. When someone is lost, the right words can give them direction. Words have the power to uplift, to transform, and to create new possibilities. Many of the limitations people experience in life are not because of their abilities, but because of the words they believe about themselves. If a person has been told their whole life that they are not good enough, they may never even try to reach their full potential. But if they begin to change their words and say, "I am talented, I am worthy, I am capable," they will begin to see new doors open. The first step to success is often changing the narrative you tell yourself. Words are one of the most powerful tools we have, and yet many people use them carelessly. They speak negativity over their own lives without realizing the impact it has. They complain, criticize, and doubt themselves into a state of failure. But the moment they start to change their words, everything begins to shift. Speaking blessings, speaking faith, and speaking possibilities will set the foundation for a better future. So, if you want to change your life, start by changing your words. Speak blessings over yourself. Speak success. Speak health. Speak joy. because the words you speak today will shape the reality you live tomorrow. Faith and expectation are two of the most powerful forces that shape our reality. They work together to determine what we attract into our lives and how we respond to challenges. Faith is the belief in something even when there is no visible evidence, while expectation is the mindset that anticipates the desired outcome. When these two forces are combined, they create an unshakable confidence that moves mountains, opens doors, and transforms impossibilities. Throughout history, faith has been the driving force behind great achievements. The most successful individuals, inventors, and leaders have all possessed an unrelenting belief in their vision long before it became reality. Thomas Edison believed in the possibility of electric light when the world was still in darkness. The Wright brothers believed in human flight when no one else thought it was possible. They did not wait for proof before they had faith. Their faith became the foundation upon which they built their success. Their expectation fueled their persistence, and their persistence led to breakthroughs. Faith is more than just wishful thinking. It is an inner conviction so strong that it influences actions, decisions, and outcomes. When a person has faith in their abilities, they approach challenges with confidence instead of fear. When someone has faith in their dreams, they take risks that others shy away from. Faith shifts a person's perspective from doubt to certainty, from hesitation to determination. It allows people to see opportunities where others see obstacles, and to remain hopeful even when circumstances seem unfavorable. Expectation is the natural extension of faith. It is not enough to believe in something. One must also expect it to happen. Many people have faith in the idea that success is possible, but they do not truly expect it for themselves. They hope for good things, but secretly prepare for failure. Expectation is what takes faith from being a passive belief to an active force. It shapes a person's thoughts, emotions, and behavior. When someone expects success, they position themselves for it. They prepare, take action, and stay ready for opportunities. The power of expectation is evident in everyday life. When a person wakes up expecting a great day, they approach situations with positivity, and that attitude influences their experiences. On the other hand, when someone expects things to go wrong, they unconsciously look for signs of failure and attract negative experiences. This is why two people can go through the same situation and have completely different outcomes. One expects things to work out, and the other expects things to fall apart. Expectation shapes perception, and perception shapes reality. In relationships, faith and expectation determine the quality of connections people have with others. When a person has faith in the goodness of others, they approach relationships with trust and openness. When they expect love and respect, they attract people who treat them accordingly. However, when someone expects betrayal, disappointment, or rejection, they often create situations that confirm those expectations. People unknowingly communicate their expectations through their words, actions, and energy. When they expect to be mistreated, they become defensive, suspicious, and insecure, which can push others away. In finances and career, faith and expectation play a crucial role in determining success. A person who believes in their ability to create wealth and expects opportunities to come their way will naturally seek out possibilities, take bold steps, and make decisions that lead to abundance. They see setbacks as temporary and persist until they achieve their goals. On the other hand, someone who doubts their financial potential and expects to struggle will hesitate to take risks, avoid new opportunities, and settle for less than they deserve. Their belief system limits them before they even try. Faith and expectation are also at the core of healing and well-being. Countless studies have shown the power of the mind in physical health. Patients who believe they will recover often heal faster than those who expect to remain sick. The placebo effect is a scientific demonstration of how belief and expectation influence the body. When people believe that a treatment will work, their bodies respond as if it actually does, even if the treatment is inactive. This proves that faith and expectation are not just psychological concepts. They have a direct impact on physical reality. In spirituality, faith and expectation are fundamental principles. Many religious and spiritual traditions emphasize the importance of believing in unseen forces, trusting in divine timing, and expecting blessings. Whether through prayer, affirmations, or meditation, people cultivate faith by focusing their minds on positive outcomes. When they expect miracles, breakthroughs, and guidance, they position themselves to receive them. It is not about blindly waiting for things to happen, but about aligning one's thoughts, emotions, and actions with the desired outcome. The power of faith and expectation is evident in the stories of those who have overcome adversity. People who rise above difficult circumstances often do so because they refuse to accept defeat. They hold on to the belief that something better is ahead, even when everything around them says otherwise. Their expectation of success keeps them moving forward, even when progress is slow. They do not let temporary setbacks define their future, because they know that what they believe and expect will eventually become their reality. Doubt and fear are the greatest enemies of faith and expectation. When a person allows negative thoughts to dominate their mind, they weaken their belief in what is possible. Fear convinces them that failure is inevitable, while doubt makes them question their worthiness. This is why protecting one's faith is essential. Feeding the mind with positive affirmations, surrounding oneself with encouraging influences, and taking consistent action all strengthen faith and expectation. One of the biggest mistakes people make is giving up too soon. They start with faith but allow doubt to creep in when results do not appear immediately. Faith requires patience and persistence. Many great successes happen just beyond the point where most people quit. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who do not is often a matter of who held on to their faith the longest. Expectation requires unwavering belief, even in the absence of immediate evidence. Faith and expectation are not about denying reality. They do not ignore challenges, but rather empower individuals to face them with confidence. When a person expects good things to happen, they attract opportunities, build resilience, and move with purpose. When they believe in their ability to succeed, they find solutions instead of excuses. Faith and expectation turn dreams into plans, plans into actions, and actions into results. Breaking negative cycles is one of the most important steps toward personal growth and transformation. Many people find themselves trapped in patterns of failure, self-doubt, and disappointment, often without realizing that these cycles are not just random occurrences, but results of deeply ingrained beliefs and behaviors. Negative cycles can manifest in different areas of life: relationships, finances, health, or self-esteem, and they continue to repeat until a conscious effort is made to break free from them. Understanding how these cycles form, why they persist, and how to overcome them is crucial for creating a better future. Negative cycles often begin with the mind. The way a person thinks determines the actions they take, and those actions create results that reinforce the original thoughts. If someone believes they are not good enough, they may hesitate to pursue opportunities. When they avoid opportunities, they experience stagnation, which then reinforces the belief that they are incapable. This loop continues until something interrupts it. The same happens with relationships. If someone believes they are unworthy of love, they might settle for unhealthy relationships or push people away. When those relationships fail, it confirms their belief that they are not meant to be loved. These patterns are deeply rooted in the subconscious mind and often stem from past experiences, childhood conditioning, or repeated failures. Breaking a negative cycle requires self-awareness. Many people go through life reacting to situations without realizing that their reactions are shaped by past programming. They assume that their struggles are caused by external circumstances rather than internal patterns. The first step to change is recognizing the cycle. A person must take an honest look at their life and identify recurring patterns, whether it is financial instability, toxic relationships, self-sabotage, or procrastination. Once they acknowledge the cycle, they can begin to understand why it exists and how it has been reinforced over time. One of the main reasons negative cycles persist is because they feel familiar, even when something is harmful. If a person has lived with it for a long time, it can become their comfort zone. Someone who has always struggled financially may subconsciously resist wealth because struggle is all they know. A person who has been in toxic relationships might feel uneasy in a healthy one because dysfunction feels normal to them. This is why breaking a cycle requires a willingness to step into discomfort. Change is often uncomfortable because it challenges deeply held beliefs and forces a person to confront their fears. Words play a powerful role in reinforcing or breaking negative cycles. People often speak negativity over their lives without realizing the impact. They say things like, I always fail, I can't trust anyone, or nothing ever works out for me. These words strengthen the cycle because they reinforce limiting beliefs. To break free, a person must change their language. Instead of saying, I always fail, they should declare, I am learning and growing. Instead of saying, I will never be successful, they should affirm, I am capable of creating success. Words shape thoughts, and thoughts shape reality. When a person consistently speaks positivity, they begin to rewire their subconscious mind and create a new pattern of thinking. Another key factor in breaking negative cycles is changing behavior. Thoughts alone are not enough. Actions must align with new beliefs. If someone wants to break a cycle of financial struggle, they must develop new habits like budgeting, investing, or seeking better opportunities. If someone wants to break a cycle of unhealthy relationships, they must set boundaries, heal from past wounds, and choose different kinds of people to engage with. Change requires intentional action. It is not enough to wish for a different outcome. One must take steps toward it. Even small actions, when repeated consistently, can create lasting change. The people a person surrounds themselves with also influence whether they stay in or break free from negative cycles. If someone is constantly around negativity, doubt, and fear, those energies will reinforce their struggles. On the other hand, being around positive, growth-oriented individuals can help shift their mindset and inspire new possibilities. Sometimes breaking a cycle means distancing from people who keep reinforcing old patterns. It may mean seeking mentors, joining supportive communities, or engaging with content that uplifts and empowers. Forgiveness is another essential part of breaking negative cycles. Many cycles are rooted in past pain, things people have experienced, mistakes they have made, or hurts they have endured. Holding on to resentment, guilt, or regret only keeps the cycle going. Forgiving oneself and others allows a person to release the emotional weight that keeps them trapped. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing harm. It means choosing to let go of the burden and move forward. A person who refuses to forgive is often unconsciously tied to the past, reliving pain over and over. When they release that pain, they make space for new, healthier experiences. Breaking a negative cycle also requires persistence. Many people start making changes but revert to old habits when they don't see immediate results. Change takes time, and setbacks are part of the process. The key is to keep going, even when progress feels slow. Every step forward, no matter how small, weakens the grip of the old cycle. Over time, new patterns become stronger, and the old ones lose their power. This is why it is important to celebrate small victories. Each positive decision, each new habit, and each changed thought is proof that transformation is happening. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles to breaking negative cycles. The mind often resists change because it sees the unknown as a threat. Doubts creep in. What if I fail? What if things don't work out? These fears can cause a person to retreat back into familiar struggles. The best way to overcome fear is to take action, despite it. Confidence does not come from waiting for fear to disappear. It comes from moving forward in spite of it. The more a person acts in alignment with their new path, the more their confidence grows, and fear loses its power. Gratitude is another powerful tool for breaking negative cycles. Focusing on what is good rather than what is lacking shifts energy from frustration to possibility. When a person appreciates what they already have, they open themselves up to receive more. Gratitude changes perception. Instead of seeing obstacles, a grateful mind sees opportunities. Instead of focusing on what is wrong, it focuses on what is working. This shift in focus creates a new cycle, one of positivity, growth, and abundance. The process of breaking a negative cycle is not about perfection, it is about progress. It requires patience, self-compassion, and a commitment to continuous improvement. Every person has the ability to change their story, no matter how long they have been stuck in a pattern. It starts with awareness, is reinforced through words and actions, and becomes permanent through persistence. Once a person commits to breaking negative cycles, they open the door to a new reality, one filled with possibilities, success, and fulfillment.